It's just the best cookie ever.
Hey friends, this is Angela from Art of Creation Homestead, and you're in the kitchen with me again, and I'm still doing Christmas goodies. And what I am teaching you today is probably one of my most favorite cookies in the whole world. I am teaching you how to make double chocolate crinkle cookies. I love crinkle cookies, and double chocolate makes them even better. So let's get started on the dough because this has to chill for a while. What we have in the bowl of our KitchenAid mixer, if you don't have a KitchenAid stand mixer or any kind of stand mixer, you can just use a hand mixer. We have 1.5 sticks of softened unsalted butter, which is also 12 tablespoons. That's 1.5 sticks unsalted. Then we have a cup and 1/4 of granulated sugar, and we have 3/4 of a cup of packed light brown sugar. Now we are going to we're going to beat it with a paddle attachment. This could take a couple of minutes, so I'll be back and show you what it looks like when we're there. You want to beat this until it's all come together like this, and you can't tell the difference between the sugar and the butter. It's all come together. It took probably 2 minutes or so. Now you want to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. You guys know I don't measure it, so it's 2, maybe a little more, teaspoons of vanilla. And now we are going to start adding 4 eggs, adding them one at a time, beating it between each addition. Whoa, 2 went in that time, so I guess it'll have to settle for 2. Now those 2 are completely incorporated, so now we're going to add 1 more, hopefully just 1 more. Yes, just 1 went in that time. And now that's completely incorporated, so we're going to add our last egg. Now all of those eggs are completely incorporated. At this point, you want to make sure you scrape down your bowl. You want to make sure there isn't any lumps of sugar or butter anywhere in it. You want to make sure that it is all incorporated at this point. You want to scrape down your paddle a little bit, make sure everything's off your paddle. And at this point, it's going to look a little strange. It may look like it didn't all come together good. It will all come together once you add your dry ingredients. So now I'll show you our dry ingredients. In this bowl, we have 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. We have 1 cup, yes, I said 1 cup, of cocoa powder. These are intensely chocolate. We have 1 tablespoon of baking powder. We have 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. You want that extra little pop of salt in there. It goes so well with the chocolate. And then to make the chocolate taste even better, this is optional. You can leave it out, but it works really well with it. This is 1 teaspoon of instant espresso powder. Now, I'm going to take a whisk and just kind of work these ingredients together just a little bit. That way, you're not dumping in a whole bunch of each individual ingredients. That way it's all one just big mass, and you're just dumping in one thing at a time. Now, that's all mixed together. So now, we'll bring you back over to the KitchenAid, and we'll start dumping it in. You want to dump it in additions, basically. You don't want to dump the whole thing in at once. So you want to dump it in about thirds. So I'm going to dump in 1/3 of it. And give it a chance to work that. So just turn it on low. You don't want to turn it any higher than low. Otherwise you're going to be wearing cocoa powder, and so is your kitchen. And once you see that it is almost completely incorporated, you want to add in your next third. There's another third. And mix that in until it's all incorporated. At this point, you want to add in your last third. And then you want to add in what makes it double chocolate. You are adding in 3/4 of a cup of mini chocolate chips. If you don't have minis, you can use the regular size, but you may want to chop them up a little. It works so much better with the minis. Now, you want to incorporate all of that in. At this point, you have an extremely thick dough, as you can see. So we're going to take this off the mixer, and we're going to scrape everything down and make sure everything's scraped in and incorporated. Make sure you rake everything off that paddle. You don't want to miss any of this dough, because that'll be less cookies. You gotta have a lot of cookies. These are a great thing to share with people. Chocolate crinkle cookies is usually one of those things that most chocolate lovers, like myself, absolutely love. So now I'm gonna scrape down the sides of the bowl. Make sure that there's no dry powder on the sides of your bowl. Now this dough is gonna be very stiff. It's going to be extremely stiff to work with, but that's a good thing. That's what you want. You want it to be nice and stiff. You want a nice stiff dough when you're doing crinkle cookies. In order to make sure that it is nice and stiff when you roll it in the powdered sugar, this dough has to chill for 4 hours. Now you can make it up the night before and bake them the next day, but it also can just chill in the refrigerator for 4 hours. Then it'll be ready to bake, and I'll show you what it looks like then. Our dough is nicely chilled now. It's chilled for about 4 hours, and it's nicely chilled now. And we have a bowl here with 2 cups of powdered sugar. It's not going to take the whole 2 cups, but you want a lot in there to roll them around in. So now this is a 1.5 tablespoon cookie scoop. You want a large cookie scoop. If you want smaller cookies, use a smaller cookie scoop. I'm doing large cookies. So you want to scoop up your dough into a nice big round ball. You'll want to roll it between your hands to make it into a ball. Then you will dunk it in the powdered sugar. And this is my little trick to actually get the powdered sugar to stay on. You want to knock some of it off, then you want to roll it in your hands to get that powdered sugar to stick.
So you're pressing it in there, essentially.
And then you want to roll it again. And see, shake off any excess.
Looks like them dang donut holes you get in the convenience store.
And then set it on a parchment paper lined cookie sheet. And then you just keep going. You just keep roll it into a ball. Roll it in the powdered sugar. Roll it between your hands. And roll it again.
There you have it.
And you'll get the perfect powdered sugar covered crinkle cookie every time.
Or a nice projectile to throw at your neighbor.
You want to space them nice and far apart, because they will spread just a little bit. So even on this big half sheet pan, I will probably only put about 6 to 8. Now these 2 pans are ready to go into the oven that we have preheated to 350 degrees. You want your oven racks on the middle 2 levels. These will bake for about 12 minutes. At halfway through, you want to switch the 2 pans, put the bottom on the top and the top on the bottom for even baking. So I'm going to put these in there, and the rest of your dough over here, you want to make sure that you cover it back with plastic wrap. Put it back into the refrigerator so that it don't get warm. It's been 12 minutes and they're out of the oven. Right now, if you were to touch them, they would feel like they're not baked completely. You want to leave them on the pan to cool almost completely, and it will take anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes for them to do that. And in that time, by carryover cook, they will finish baking. So you do not want to move them or touch them until about 5 to 10 minutes, until they are cool enough that you can touch them with your hands.
Those are beautiful cookies, Ange.
See, this perfect crinkle,
That's
this perfect
awesome.
crack with the powdered sugar, that's how you get that, is that method that I told you. These are completely cool now. See, I can pick them up with my hand. Now you want to put them on a wire rack to finish cooling any heat that may be in there at all, so that they will store good.
Yeah, because if there's heat left in them, when you try to seal them up in a container, it's going to create moisture.
Yes.
And it's going to ruin your cookies.
Yes, it will. And when these are done right, they should be fudgy and chewy, almost like a brownie in the middle.
Well, how are we going to know?
And they are just amazing.
But I don't understand how we're going to know unless somebody sneaks one. I mean, we have to find out, right? So, I'll be the guinea pig. Tough life, let me tell you. We're horrible. They're amazing. Look at that cookie. No, nice, fudgy, chocolatey. It's like a really fudgy brownie in a cookie form. I mean, like, I don't know. It's just the best cookie ever. Well, I'm gonna quit eating on camera. Maybe. Well, thank you guys for watching. We do appreciate it. Yeah, my name is Jason. It's Angela K. It's our Creation Homestead. Love you guys. God bless you and goodbye.